you said about like you recovering in the day. Is there a time of day, like I used to train out in the mornings because that's how things worked out. Now I'm over here, it's more difficult to train in the morning, so I have to do it in the evenings. Do those rules apply if you train different times a day, or is it different if you work out in the evening?
No, there's a lot of research on time of day training. And one of the things that we do know about time of day is performance. We know that the body performs better in the afternoon, sometime around, at least past 2, closer to 4, 5 p.m. The body typically performs better. Most humans are stronger, perform better on mental tasks as well. So a lot of people thought, well, that means you should train because you should train when you're at your strongest. It doesn't really pan out. As long as you train consistently, it really doesn't matter if you train morning or nighttime. It's really about the consistency. So
right.
There's really very little difference. But back to the cardio thing, one of the things that I wanted to say about the full body training is, I suffered a quadriceps tear, a complete tear. Was severed right off the bone. I had 4 surgeries. So this was beginning of 2017. So in 2017, it was in January. So between January and May, I had 4 surgeries on my knee. So I wasn't doing any cardio. Nor could I do cardio while I was recovering. So for most of 2017, I did 0 cardio. And the only thing I could do was full body training, right? So I could go in, and it wasn't even full body, it was like 3/4 because I couldn't do anything with this leg. So I just did resistance training, full body every day. Every day, full body. Just one exercise per muscle. Sometimes, I'd mix it up.
Right. And how long was that workout last?
Maybe 45 minutes
right.
to an hour.
Right.
And I gained no body fat despite going from a time where I was running. I would go hiking, I would run at night, I would run the streets here, I biked everywhere. I'm known for cardio acceleration, doing cardio in between. You do bench press and you do bench step ups, then back to. I couldn't do any of that. All I did was full body training. And if I'm live, I'm on social media all the time, so there's no way to hide, my physique. And despite no cardio, just full body training, I gained no body fat.
And what about your muscle conditioning? How did that?
And that maintained.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the resist. Obviously, I can't squat heavy, or my legs size decreased and whatnot. But generally speaking, my physique changed very little.
Wow. And will you change your diet through that period as well, at all much?
Not much.
No,
not much.
Interesting.
But again, it goes to show you that, when it comes to fat loss, here wasn't a case of should I do cardio or weights. I can't do any cardio. Does that mean I'm going to get fat? No. I was able to maintain 4 to 5% body fat with no cardio, just through the full body training. Because again, what is going on? I'm activating all those muscle fibers every day. So now all those metabolic genes are turned on, right? I'm burning fat, utilizing glucose, and I'm recovering all those muscle fibers every day. Right. So what is a better way to burn fat? I would say weight training.
You say about,
honestly, yeah.
And what about rest? Because you said you're training every day. That seems, to some people, that's like overtraining.
Sure,
How do you deal with that?
I'm a big proponent of if you think you're overtrained, talk to a professional athlete. Our bodies are designed to get up and survive until nightfall, and then we hide because we want to survive, right? Then we get up and we do it again, right? Our bodies aren't designed to get up sit down at the table, have a bowl of cereal handed to us, and then food is just thrown into our bodies have not evolved past waking up going, where am I getting my food? And how am I not dying, right? By the end of today. We have not evolved past that. So, our bodies are really designed to work all day long. So if you think that sitting in your car and commuting to work for an hour, and then sitting at your desk for 4 more hours, and then going to the gym at noon and lifting for an hour, and training too hard for that hour is going to throw you into overtraining, no, it doesn't happen that way. It's very difficult to overtrain. And overtraining is not, you can't just have a workout and now you're overtrained. Overtraining is a period of months. It takes months to get into a state of overtraining. But most people aren't overtrained. And one of the things we talk about with recovery is, what is recovery? We don't know what recovery is. We don't. What is a recovered muscle? We don't know, right? The only way we can test that right now is, when does the strength come back? So what we'll do is we'll have somebody go and do 3 sets of 10 on the bench press to fatigue. And then we'll have them come in the next day and test them for their 10 rep max. They won't be able to get 10 with that weight because they're fatigued, right? They just did it. 2 days later, probably still won't be able to get 10 with that weight because they're still a bit fatigued. 3 days later, maybe they can get it. Now we say they're recovered. So all we know is that recovery is when your strength has returned to the original level. We don't know what's going on inside the muscle, what anything looks like inside in those 2 days. So what is recovery? Remember, we're talking about calves, right? Let's talk about somebody who lives in San Francisco, a very hilly place. They don't own a car. They probably walk 4 or 5 miles a day, uphill, downhill, day after day. How do their legs recover? Day after day. Shouldn't they not walk for 2-3 days after a full day of 4 to 5 miles of walking up hills? Right? Your legs would be destroyed, right? If you haven't walked 4 to 5 miles and then suddenly you had to walk 4 to 5 miles of hills, what would your legs feel like the next day? Like you just did a leg workout, right? So you better not walk, right? So if you live in San Francisco, you should only walk maybe 2 days, 3 days a week, because the rest of the days you should be recovering. So how does the human body do that? How are we able to walk the next day?
Right. Yeah.
No matter what the challenge is, right? Some people don't walk that much. Other people walk 20 miles a day.
Yeah.
How do they do that day after day? Shouldn't they take a day off? No, honestly, how do they do it?
Yeah, I guess so.
So what is recovery?
Yeah.
What is recovery? We don't know. Like I said, the field of exercise science is so new.
It's not
We
proven.
really don't know much.
Yeah.
The things, a lot of the laws that we follow, recovery, we don't even know what recovery is. We honestly don't. We're learning.
Calves earlier, and like say we were saying, where I got married was Positano, and it's like steep hills, like
right.
So, and a lot of the old ladies who live at the top, they go up and down all the time to the shops and up and down, and you're right, they probably
day after day,
done that for years.
Day after day, right? How does the body recover? Yeah. Right? If you're telling me that the body needs 2 days to recover before you can train it again, or it's going to overtrain, how does that old lady do that? And I bet her legs are freaking amazing. Amazing. I bet she's got great, I bet they've got amazing calves, amazing legs, and somehow they can train them every day. What is recovery? Seriously, what is recovery? We don't know.
No. It's interesting because I used to do squats. I like doing legs because my legs are not the strong part, but I enjoy them. And I used to do them once a week, and then I changed to do them sort of a bit like you most days. And I found when I first started it, I was actually getting stronger through my squats because I was doing it every day,
Yeah.
which was quite weird, than sort of doing it once a week.
Yep.
It would take me a while to kind of get back up to that weight, and quicker as well. I could sort of go up a lot
Yeah.
quicker, which was, unusual. But I think, I guess the key point that you've said, which I'd never was aware of before, is that the science behind it is still fairly new. I didn't realize that people have not studied this to that extent to really have these answers.
I mean, the National Institutes of Health is not throwing millions of dollars so we can figure out how a Mr. Olympia can get bigger biceps. Right. They're throwing out millions of dollars so we can prevent muscle diseases. What we learn from those studies, we go, oh, maybe that means this in the gym.
Right.
You know what I mean?